Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with Challenge Accepted. And this week, Shannon and I are both doing the Back to the Future hop. And there are many ways that the Back to the Future hop could be interpreted. One of the ways, it's taking something old and making it new is kind of the idea. So one of those interpretations was to scrap lift yourself, take an old layout and redo it, and maybe show some techniques or ideas that you've picked up along the way since you did that one. So for the one that I'm going to lift, it's this really simple one, and I honestly can't remember if that is a patterned paper that has those trees and then this larger tree and these drifts of snow. But I think it may have been a large piece of paper that I cut in two, because there's a fence with Christmas lights and stuff here, and as you can see, these are very simple, and there's kind of a reason for that. When Katie and Barrett were living with their mom in Kentucky, when they spent Christmas with their dad, they were here for the season. I had them help me make a book, a photo book of activities and things that we had done and seen to give to their mom as a gift. So they participated and selected some of the supplies, things like that. And this was in 2012. And so I decided to do this one because I wanted, number one, I wanted to use a stamp that I've recently rediscovered. It's a Tim Holtz Stampers Anonymous stamp of these, trees. Now, mind you, these are evergreens and they have leaves, and these are bare. So I'm going to go with those. And I also had a die that does these trees. These are what I call my Tim Holtz trees. And I'm going to use techniques on this page that I normally would have used on cards. I bought these for card making, and I have these dies, these IO Impression Obsession dies of a couple deer. And so I cut those out of brown velvet paper, and I cut 3 trees out of green velvet paper, and I did I kind of strung these together. I did this one twice on some white velvet paper, and I have I did one. Let me see if I can explain this. I had one strip of paper, and I ran the dies across and cut. It left one stitched edge and one plain edge, so I just kind of glued them together, and I'm going to glue them over a piece of white textured paper that I tore and then bent. So this is going to go over there. But first, let me tell you what I did about the photo. In the original, something that I noticed about it, other than its simplicity with a phrase here, partners in crime, and I'm not sure if that was a pre-done sticker or if I did some small letters or rub-ons in there. And I think this Say Cheese, just looking at it, it looks like it might have been an acetate, from an acetate, maybe Project Life card type thing. And I cut it out and put it there, put it underneath the photo. But the photo, I used, decorative scissors to do kind of a decal edge on it. And I have in my word processing system, I have a frame that can go around photos or any type of image, and that makes a decal edge when you print it. So I just printed my photo This is a filtered photo of the three older kids, Allie, Katie, and Barrett. Allie was 8, Katie was 7, and Barrett was 5. I guess Allie had just turned 8 and Barrett had just turned 5. And Katie was going to be 8 in a few months. So this was on a day we'd gone out to some property that Allie's mom owned, and and cut a tree. It was one of my favorite things that we did in my family growing up, and the family that was formed when John and I and James were together. We never went out and cut a tree. So this was my first time doing that, and it happened to be on my birthday, December 12th, back in 2009. So that's one of my favorite photos ever of the kids, and it was a wonderful day. We went out for barbecue later that night, and I've got some really cute pictures of Ava at the barbecue place, but she was asleep in her seat back in the car. I've been told that when I hold the pages like that, you can't see. So this is actually printed on my background paper. And the reason for that is I want to do some stamping. I'm going to use these trees and kind of stamp along here. And I didn't want to cross over any raised paper. And I've never done this before. So what I'm going to do, I feel safe in doing it. If I do it and then I think it messes up the photo, I can always go back. I can print this photo the same size and put it on top, and then the photo will cover whatever, these little branches are, the trunks of the trees. But for instance, there's this kind of telephone pole type thing sticking up right here on the property. I thought if I stamped right there, that might be kind of cool. So then when I do this paper, I've got some foam on the back. It's going to lift everything on this side up. And when I put these trees on, they'll kind of overlay the stamped trees, but they'll have a slightly different color. They're a dark green. The trees are going to be stamped in black, and they will have they'll be lifted by the layers of foam. I can't do any foam here. I guess I could have die cut some foam and spent 11 hours weeding it. But anyway, so I'm going to start the scary part. I've got some bramble fox houses that I thought I might drape along the snowdrift. I've got my deer that I can set out there. I've got the car with the tree on top, which is the primary image that kind of tells what we were doing. I've got my journaling, which all I'm going to do for this journaling is Tree Cutting Day 12/12/09. My title used to be this kind of turquoise color, and I took a dark green Bic marker, which is an alcohol permanent marker, and I colored the tops and kind of the sides to make it this dark green color, which kind of goes with the color of the trees, and kind of, if I use these trees, it's not exactly the same, but that bright turquoise just wasn't doing it for me. So that's kind of what I did there. So let's see if we can do something here. And this is scary for me because whatever I do here, I kind of had to think about it in terms of what happens if I mess up and I'm filming, because I do the live action kinds of videos. It was going to be, kind of strange. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and finish the page, And then if I have to print another copy of the photo and put it over it, it'll just go over on top of whatever's stamped on here, and so you'll recognize it. But I'm hoping that that's not necessary. So my first set of trees that I wanted to stamp, I thought I would do kind of along the lines here with that pole sticking up, and I'd kind of like to line that up. I don't know if that's going to do it, but let's see how that works out. Okay, and let me get I debated with myself about whether to do those in brown or dark green, but I think I want the black because I think they'll stand out, and the way the trees are filtered. Now this is photo paper that I'm stamping on, and it accepts ink differently from cardstock, so we'll see here how that works. Well, it looks good. I'm going to stand up so I can get a little more weight on the trees. I think it's it's doing what I wanted it to do. Okay, I need another coat, and it kind of lined up right there. Oh, that's gonna be nice. And I think this will look very different from having a tree embellishment that you use on the page. This actually interacts with the photo, and I just kind of like that idea. I'm gonna do one here as well, but I want to do it at a different height, maybe further down, and wherever I drop it, it's going to have to stay because there's ink on it. Okay, there we go. Ooh, that shadow image is kind of nice. And I'm going to be covering up some of these with the green trees, and I'm not sure how now in the original, the trees are kind of up above the photo, and I thought about that, and I'm still thinking about that. But I'm not quite sure. Let's see. I'm going to do it this way and see if I did it like this, for example. And then I did another one maybe over here. Let's go for it. And maybe I'll do this one in that secondary image, just with a little bit of ink transfer. Do we like that? I think I'm going to leave that one that way, and I'll move over here and maybe do one a little bit higher and over there. And then do it with the full okay. Let me do another one, and then I'll do an ink transfer image over here. Okay. I'm going to do it like that and kind of overlap those trees. And I think my title's going to go across the top, so I want to be sure that I don't. Okay, I like this. I'm going to say that I'm done stamping. I'm going to sit back down. I'll close up my ink. And let me make sure I don't have any on my fingers. And let's pull this out of here. Okay. And then we'll finish the page. And it should come together fairly quickly with the pre-work that I've done. Get my magnets back in there. I'll have to separate those later. Okay, let's do this. And I wanted to use a wide tree right here. Let's see how that, let's do the snowdrifts first. I'm going to get some adhesive. Here, and I'm going to do this down all the way to the bottom. And that's good. It kind of looks like these are growing out of there. I like the black and I like the grayish in there. And I'm going to peel the backing here. Put this kind of just above where my journaling is. Okay, and it's kind of a soft, warm white, whereas this is a snow white, so that's kind of perfect. I think I want this guy sort of right in the middle of there, but before I adhere it, let's kind of dry fit a couple other things. This is where I envision that going, and that's good because it kind of fills in the spot where there aren't any trees, and the more I move it up, the better I like that. Okay, so I was gonna have one of the narrow trees over here. I was gonna maybe put it in like that. The white tree, well, I was actually gonna do it kind of overlapping there. And then, well, let's get this narrow one first. And I kind of want to diminish the look of these trunks that are just kind of in space there. So do that. Okay, so if that's where I place those, then I've got the deer that could be placed right there and right here. And then I have these houses, and I thought, I've also got this Stay Cozy, which I thought would be cute, kind of stick maybe a burr right here and a stay cozy right here. The photo. So let's see what we do with the houses. So we go here and here. And is it time for a tree? I wanted to do a tree maybe down here. So we could do that and that and that. Is that good? I like that. And maybe I want to move this over here. Okay, I've dry fit it. I think I like it. So now it's a question of gluing it. And I think I won't make you stick around to watch me glue. This is my my design. This is going to be straight here. It moved when I moved that. And this one may, let me move it there, and this goes there. Okay, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I had thought about maybe putting some enamel dots or something. I could kind of move this here, and I could have let's see if that worked. Let's do this, and then we'll go with the big white house before we get to the little tree there. Okay, I think I'm gonna do that, guys. So thanks for watching. This was fun. It's a, I don't have much more journaling on this one than I did on this one. But any is better than none, I suppose. I've got trees all around the photos of the kids. Some trees are bigger than other trees. And I kind of took off from there, but it's a great memory. And these are the same, this one and this one are the same two kids in there. I've just kind of added Allie to the mix there. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy the hop. I will include links to everybody who's doing the Back to the Future hop. And I'll see you next Thursday for Challenge Accepted. And hope you'll join Shannon and me. I'll also include Shannon's link among those others who are doing the hop. So, bye.